Okay, hello everybody to session 2, Buzz Around the World.
Our special guest for today is the wonderful Laleh. Hi, Laleh.
Hi guys, how are you?
Doing absolutely great, thank you. So before we go on with the questions we have for you, let me just ask you if you can do a short introduction of yourself.
Sure. So all of you guys watching out there, I have had the great pleasure of having my first bar session 12 years ago. And it was on my birthday. A friend that I contributed to her knee pain, her peanut allergies and other things, she was like, listen, on your birthday, I'd like to come and gift you something. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, it's called the bars. I'm like, I don't care what it's called. Just come on over. And it's interesting because prior to that, I've been in the business world in America for a very long time. I've worked with lots of different kinds of organizations, from startup companies to mid-sized companies to super large companies, and the enterprise, we call it, or the government. And I found that, no matter how amazing things were, there was always a level of stress that just seemed like what would help or kill the project, the people, or anything else. And that first session, oh my goodness, man, she just put her hand on the back of my head, in the third eye, and just started. I think it was like 1 minute. And I was like, what is this thing? I have to tell the whole world about the bars.
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you ever met me, you knew I'm a very happy person. Like, I was always looking at things from the glass half full, never half empty. And yet there was a level of joy, that touch, just this one touch, that I perceived a level of joy I'd never even known was possible.
Freedom.
And I am so grateful you guys are doing this and going bars around the world, because every person needs to at least know they have the option to try it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Oh, thank you. Okay, can I ask you the first question?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Laleh, what was your reason for choosing consciousness and the bars?
Well, I kind of explained a little bit here. So I've been, with Access Consciousness now almost a little over 11 years. And for me, I wouldn't have called it consciousness back then. I would have said, I was finding things that helped me have greater joy, greater health, things that made life easier. And I was always looking for things that would be in my toolbox, and depending on, like, in a meeting, someone was stressed, or, people used to come in my office all the time, like lay down, like as if I'm their shrink, and tell me their problem. And they'd walk away totally energized and ready to create. And so for me, I don't know if I ever looked at it as it was consciousness, but over the years, I would say over the last maybe 20, 25 years, I've had more of the word consciousness. And when I had this experience with the bars, I just knew no matter what, I wanted to be the voice of people knowing the bars existed. And yeah, it just got my whole life, my body so happy, just knowing the bars and wanting to share that, even if it wasn't called consciousness.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, great.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God, my body is like, dancing.
Yeah. Like, that's what happens though. And,
Yeah.
That's also the bars.
Yeah, but
You know?
I want to add a little bit more, because bars is the first tool that got created in Access Consciousness. Gary Douglas, the founder. But I have to say, like, Access Consciousness is about you accessing more of who you really are.
Yes.
Those things that are true for you.
Yes.
So I would say it's just, the start of you being more of you.
Yeah, and for
Great.
me, it's the first choice to change something, to change your life for me. And
Absolutely.
that's the energy is so wow, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was your past experience you remember the most?
In regard to so much of my past, what would you like to know about?
One. Is
just
your
just one experience. What's in your mind?
Oh,
first, maybe the first one.
you know what's interesting? It's like the first thing that pops in my universe is actually when I was 5 years old and I was just running around just laughing. And my sister and I had a lollipop, like a candy we put in our mouth, and we laughed and giggled for 1 hour straight.
Yeah.
And people thought we were like weird. How's that possible? But it was like that's the memory that pops actually.
Yeah, okay. Great.
Great. So the next one, looking back to your access consciousness starting point, which is with the bars, what changed in your life? What changed happened in your life during this starting point?
Yeah. So at the time, I had a consulting company. I was working with a lot of businesses and not-for-profits. And one of the things that I realized is I was sitting in a meeting at I was a representative for caregiver support by the governor. So he would bring us all together for advice and different programs and services. And I remember the first time when I was sitting around the room and I could actually perceive people lying, like they would say stuff and I was like, that's heavy. Or like I started to really notice that the things I used to just kind of brush away, I was becoming more present of when someone was lying and when it just didn't resonate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I recall just walking away from that meeting and being like, this is crazy. Did they not know? Couldn't they not tell? Everyone was telling each other lies. And that was like my awakening of like how often I was always willing to see the good in people, and assume like, yeah, they're doing their part, whatever. But really having the truth of this is the awareness.
Yeah. And consciousness is crazy.
It can be.
Well, we're all crazy. I don't know if consciousness is crazy, but we're all crazy.
And
Yeah.
that's good. So
So coming to the last one, as you already mentioned a lot of information from the bars, but is there anything in addition you want to inform our viewers or you want to give to them about the bars, about consciousness, about access conscious, whatever?
Yeah. So, the bars was the first, I would say, set of tools that I was interested to become a practitioner, a facilitator for, because I was an executive. I was growing businesses. I was working with different kinds of organizations, and I would learn things, but they were always for a moment that brought me to something else, where the bars just kept expanding and expanding and expanding. And I just kept looking more at, as I was becoming more and more aware, my body was becoming more and more aware. So then there was other tools in addition to the bars, the body processes and other things like that. And then it also was like, wow, where else can we bring this tool that can assist with relaxation, with, pain, anxiety, and all these other things? And I brought it to the military. Actually, there was a couple of us. We brought it into the veterans. I went to meet with the Veterans Affairs in America, and we brought it into the military and the hospital. And I would take it to other hospitals. I've taken it to universities and schools. And so what I realized with the bars was this gift needs to be shared around the world.
yeah.
And then, 11 years later, I mean, I literally travel around the world sharing the tools of access consciousness, which the bars is the foundation for it. And I am super excited because every day it looks different. I have a program called Leaders of Tomorrow, and one of those components is actually the bars. So you know, it's like this, it's not just this thing like this 5-minute moment, but it's like it can be wherever you allow it to gift you relaxation, feeling great. And it's the first tool I've ever learned that I keep desiring to have more and more of it.
Agreed.
You know, like 11 years later, like I'm like, where can I go? I can have my bars run every day, you know, like it actually is part of my life. It's not just this thing that I do.
Yeah. And you have every time and everywhere choice. And that's for me everything, you know. I have choice. And this is so beyond everything, because many people think they don't have choice in their lives with their bodies, and we are the voices, or the we are the talking being
Miracles.
we are the talking miracles to bring that to people, you know. And that's for me something so special. Thank you, Laleh.
And I think for me also a great point for the bars is you don't need to be only the receiver. Also, if you're gifting, you're feeling the energy and you're feeling the change. And
that's the gift. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the first thing that I found. It's this contribution, which is gift and receive simultaneously. So your body feels good after a session, but also like anything you had going on as a point of view or difficulty in your world, like as the other person's letting it go, you have the ability to let it go. But you don't have to do anything. You could just put your hands on their head and it's just ready to go.
Relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
It's a relaxation for both parties. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll tell you guys, the first center that I had in America, I rented the space and then I was traveling for 6 weeks. And I returned and I did a bunch of bar sessions, and every neighbor in that particular building came up to me and was like, I don't know what you do here, but I just know the rest of the building is happier. Like, we're more relaxed. What is this thing? You know, and but it's the beauty that it's not just you, it's not just the person who's receiving, but everything around you has the ability to have a shift in the molecules. So I do it in hotels, you know, I do it in different places around the world. And I'm like, everyone's benefiting whether they know it or not, you know, but it's this gift that keeps gifting to everyone who's willing to receive.
Yeah, and with the earth and the universe, for me is that like an ecosystem, you know. When I
totally
give the bus or receive the bus, also from Angelina, it's like the energy is dancing with around me, you know. It's so crazy, it's so fun. Yeah, I love it.
I think it's nearly impossible to explain with words. You have to feel it.
Yes.
You know, it's so funny because most people look at like their products or services in their business and they're like, okay, I put a description and people come. And what I found with the bars, it's usually your story of kind of how you found it, but it also is like, hey, come try it for 10 minutes, because you won't really know until you experience it, you know, because each of us experiences it differently. So, you know, like that moment for me, I know there's some people that come for me and they're asleep the whole session. I had one lady hadn't slept in 6 years. You know, she had insomnia. She was on medication. She couldn't find any medication that would let her sleep through the night. She had one session with me and went home, slept. And she messaged me. She's like, I've never slept through the night before. And then she didn't even want to come back because her only reason for coming was she wanted some solution for her sleep. And when the sleep problem went away, she was done.
Oh my God, thank you to share this. So great. Thank you.
Laleh, thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you for contributing to this co-creation with Earth. Absolutely amazing.
And the donut. I can't. Now this is a word. No, not for me.
The donations we will send in our intro video. We will mention that we are also collecting donations for Elugar to give something back to Earth. Elugar, absolutely beautiful place. We will also inform or mention the homepage of Elugar and some more information. And we will install either we will install a separate account for donations, or we will mention the Elugar
the link.
Yeah. Elugar is a special project. I've been part of it for the last 9 years, and I got to stay there for 30 days last December. And I don't think we can ever find words for this magical property, but it really is nature creating itself and guiding us through its words of where to put the house, what to do. And I am so grateful for you guys doing this project, because the rest of the world needs to know about bars and Elugar.
Absolutely.
Thank
Agree.
you for your time. Thank you so much, Laleh. And thank you for this special energy. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye.